17 Sustainable Development Goals. Number 1 goal, no poverty. End poverty in all its forms, everywhere. So, ang goal 1 aims to eradicate or tangtangon ang every form of extreme poverty including the lack of food, clean drinking water ug sanitation. Achieving this goal includes finding solutions to new threats na caused by climate change ug conflict. Ang SDG 1 nag-focus dili lang sa mga tao na living in poverty, but also pud sa mga services na people rely on and social policy that either nag-promote or nag-prevent sa poverty. Goal number 2, zero hunger. End hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Ang goal 2 gina-highlight niya ang complex interlinkages sa food security, nutrition, rural transformation, ug sustainable agriculture. Besides aiming to eliminate hunger, goal 2 includes a target on ending all forms of malnutrition, kay food quality is just as important as food quantity. Goal 2 also incorporates economic aspects such as doubling the agricultural productivity and income of small-scale farmers by 2030. It features provisions on sustainable agriculture to prevent increased food production from harming the environment. Goal number 3, good health and well-being. So, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all age. Ang goal 3, nag-focus sa various aspects of healthy life and healthy lifestyle. SDG, also known as Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 3 aims to achieve universal health coverage that seeks equitable access of healthcare services to all men and women. It proposes to end the preventable death of newborns, infants, and children under 5 and epidemics. Kung i-consider ang global pandemic which is COVID-19, kailangan jud siyang tagaan og significant attention towards the realization of good health and well-being on a global scale. Goal number 4, quality education. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So, ang goal 4 aims to ensure that all children, adolescents, and adults, especially those most marginalized and vulnerable, to have access to education and training appropriate to their needs and the context in which they live. This makes education a contributing factor in making the world more secure, sustainable, and interdependent. The international community has reaffirmed the importance of education and good quality training in improving the living conditions of individuals, communities, and entire societies. Goal number 5, gender equality. Achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Ang goal 5, nag-advocate of equal opportunities for men and women in economic life. Elimination of all forms of violence against women and girls, elimination of early and forced marriage, and equal participation at all levels. Goal number 6, clean water and sanitation for all. Ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So aside sa access to drinking water, sanitation and hygiene, goal 6 compromises additional targets such as protecting and restoring water-related ecosystems. It aims to improve water quality and reduce water pollution, especially the type caused by the hazardous chemicals. It also advocates cross-border cooperation as the key to managing water resources in an integrated fashion at all levels. Goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. The Goal 7 advocates universal access to affordable, reliable, modern energy services, given that sustainable development hinges on climate friendly economic development. This aims for a substantial increase in the share of renewables in the global energy mix and a doubling in the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. Another target is to promote research in renewable energy and energy efficiency as well as investments in energy infrastructure and clean energy technologies. Goal number 8: decent work and economic growth. Promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. So, Goal 8 includes targets on sustaining economic growth, increasing economic productivity, creating decent jobs, ending modern slavery and human trafficking by 2030. Maunang Goal 8 also advocates improved global resource efficiency in consumption and production and the decoupling of economic growth from environmental degradation. It aims to ensure the economic sector of every country provides the necessary need for its citizens to have a good life irrespective of their background, race, or culture. Goal 9: industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Goal 9 aims to build resilient infrastructure, promote industrialization, and foster innovation. It aims to support technology development, research, and innovation, especially in developing countries, provide small scale industrial and other companies with greater access to financial services, including affordable credit, and increase the integration of these companies into value chains and markets. It also advocates providing universal and affordable access to the internet in the least developed countries of the world. Goal number 10: reducing inequality. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Goal 10 focuses on reducing inequality within and among countries. It advocates delivering sustained income growth to the poorest 40% of the global population and achieving empowerment and social, economic, and political inclusion for all by 2030. It aims to ensure equal opportunities through the elimination of discriminatory laws, policies, and practices while facilitating orderly and safe human migration and mobility via the implementation of sound migration policies. For example, it also envisages enhanced representation and a greater voice for developing countries in decision making within international economic and financial institutions. Goal number 11: sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. So, Goal 11 aims to reduce the adverse per capita environmental impact of cities, particularly in terms of air quality and waste management. It calls for more inclusive and sustainable forms of urbanization based in particular on a participatory, integrated, and sustainable approach to urban planning. It aims to ensure universal access to safe and inclusive green and public spaces, especially for women and children, older persons, and persons with disabilities, and provide access to safe and affordable housing and transport systems. Goal 12: responsible consumptions and productions. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goal 12 calls for the implementation of the UN's 10-year framework of programs on sustainable consumption and production patterns. It advocates environmentally sound management of chemicals and all waste as well as substantial reduction in waste generation through measures such as recycling. Goal 12 also aims to have food waste, encourage companies to adopt sustainable practices, and promote sustainable public procurement practices. Goal number 13, climate action. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Goal 13 calls on countries to incorporate climate protection measures in their national policies and assist each other in responding to the challenges at hand. It acknowledges that the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change is the primary international intergovernmental forum for negotiating the global response to climate change. It advocates strengthening resilience to climate related natural disasters and reaffirms the commitment undertaken by developed countries to mobilize each year $100 billion jointly from all sources by 2020 to help developing countries adapt to climate change. Goal number 14, life below water. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Goal 14 advocates reducing all kinds of marine pollution and minimizing ocean acids by 2025, as well as managing and protecting marine and coastal ecosystems by as early as 2020. It also aims by 2020 to regulate harvesting in an effective manner and to halt overfishing by ending illegal and unregulated fishing and destructive fishing practices. Goal 14 aims to prohibit specific types of subsidy to fisheries. Goal 15, life on land. Protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. Goal 15 calls for the conservation, restoration, and sustainable use of ecosystems with the aim of stopping deforestation, restoring degraded forests, and substantially increasing reforestation by 2020. It also advocates fighting desertification by 2030 and restoring land affected by desertification, drought, and floods. To protect biodiversity, Goal 15 calls for urgent measures to end poaching and trafficking of protected plant and animal species. Goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Goal 16 for 2030 is to promote peaceful and inclusive societies. It advocates reducing all forms of violence, ending torture, and combating all forms of organized crime. It visualizes significantly reducing corruption and bribery as well as illicit financial and arms flow. To ensure that societies are peaceful and inclusive, Goal 16 also aims to promote inclusive institutions and the rule of law and guarantee equal access to justice. So, goal number 17, partnerships for the goals. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Goal 17 calls on developed countries to renew their commitment to allocate 0.7% of their gross national income to official development assistance. It aims for a greater mobilization of domestic resources to reduce the dependence on foreign support, as well as enhanced international collaboration in science, technology, and innovation, and the promotion of an equitable multilateral trading system. Goal 17 also advocates the enhancing and macroeconomic stability and policy coherence in the interest of sustainable development.